So everything good with the pregnancy? Everything going all right?
You what?
Is everything going all right with the pregnancy? Ding, ding,
So
ding.
far,
Good. Very good.
yesterday, I think, and she started showing it.
Good evening. Welcome to the Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education monthly meeting for June 10th, 2024. Can we get a roll call, please?
Gerard.
Here.
Husky.
Here.
Flagg.
Here.
Pearson.
Here.
Davis. Here. Smedley. Here. Schroeder.
Here.
Mr. President, we have a quorum.
All right, as we begin the meeting, let us pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. Jumping around. So now the Pledge of Allegiance.
Keep us on our toes.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item number 6, comments to the board by citizens registered to speak to the board.
We have none.
Comments to the board by any board members. Okay, with that, we'll have number 7, the superintendent's report.
Getting the thermostat turned down because it seems to be offline right now. Mr. Hancock, did you check your text? Okay, my remarks tonight are brief. First of all, we had a tremendous evening for graduation on May 17th. A lot of thanks to our maintenance and facility staff. That is always a very labor-intensive time for them, and if you noticed, Guthrie News page had a picture, or Chris did, of them. They measure out the seats as they always have, the chairs, so that it's always identical. Couldn't have asked for better weather, and very appropriate send-off for the class of 2024. The legislative session has ended with many policy bills that we're still sifting through, including a change in graduation requirements, which will go into effect for the class of 2030. Most of the session featured disagreements between the House, Senate, and Governor over tax cuts. And then the last thing that I wanted to remind the board of is much of the administrative staff will be at the COSA Administrative Conference beginning on Wednesday of this week. And that's my report.
Thank you, Dr. Simpson. And now for number 8, recognition of the Superintendent of the Year. And I know we have Mr. Representative Talley here. Welcome, Representative.
Thank you. Thank you, Board. I've known Dr. Simpson for about 50 years. I knew him as a high school kid and junior high. Okay. I wanted to honor you for being Superintendent of the Year for Oklahoma. And the reason why this is a big deal, you guys, is because this is picked by people that know you, and they respect you, and they love you. And so we are giving you a citation from the state of Oklahoma. And it says, Dr. Mike Simpson, 2024 Superintendent of the Year, whereas Dr. Mike Simpson has been named the 24 State Superintendent of the Year by the Oklahoma Association of School Administrators. Dr. Simpson has consistently demonstrated excellence in top-level educational administration by building community, cultivating and empowering other leaders, and focusing on student success, despite leading through many challenges and working tirelessly to provide opportunities for students to learn, grow, and realize their full potential. Whereas Dr. Simpson exhibits a commitment to continued professional and personal growth, even beyond receiving his doctorate in education. Now, therefore, the Oklahoma Legislature sincerely thanks Dr. Mike Simpson for his service to the community of Guthrie and Guthrie Public Schools and for his efforts to provide a pathway for children to succeed. This is signed by Senator Chuck Paul, Representative Colin Dool, Representative John Pfeiffer, and myself, John Talbot. We love you, and thank you for all your hard work. And let's give a hand. We're selling these. You're worth it.
It's somewhere between a rules committee meeting and a boring session over nothing.
I like how you decide the legislative session.
I was paying attention.
Representative Talley, again, we thank you for being here and providing Dr. Simpson with that honor. And I'd like to also thank Dr. Simpson for the amount of time I've been on the board. It's evident that he loves this district, and I think what was important in that proclamation is for the students, and that's why he does it, and that's why he works so hard. And I think everybody here in this room knows that, and I think in this community, and I don't think there's anyone probably more deserving in the state. So again, I'd like to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, Cotterell Elementary construction update.
Well, thank you guys for having me again. We made a lot of really good and important progress this month despite a lot of rain that we've had. So we're mostly out of the dirt now. We're probably 90% of our slabs in the building, which gives a lot of the workers area to work and get the material out there. And we have about half of the steel up for the whole building. So all the classrooms have their steel up. And since we have the slab for the rest of the building, they're able to start doing that here this week. And then just this week, we started doing some ductwork install, and we'll start doing exterior wall training, and fire sprinkler will start this week as well. So we're moving really quickly. Only concrete work we have left to do is pour the concrete on top of the gym, and we have to pour concrete with the kitchen still. And other than that, done concrete that'll be so that'll be good progress. Let me see. Next month, or this month, we should get substantially complete with all the steel. That will allow the exterior wall to get pretty far, and a lot of the overhead mechanical stuff to go. And then pretty soon after that, we'll start with the closing the building. So we've made really good progress. Do you guys have any questions on that before I talk about the change?
Well, seems like it's moving nicely. Any chance we can have it done in August?
Never know. We're proposing contingency modification number 4 this month. There are several items through here that we are proposing to spend. So I'll go through them really quick. This line item number 2 is for underground conduit. That's a credit back to the contingency of about $5,000. It's just a better way to, it's kind of a more efficient way to install underground electrical conduit that our electrician proposed. We added some exit lights throughout the building. That's item number 3. Item number 4, we found some floor boxes that were unnecessary that were in the design. Dr. Simpson, Sean, State Street. So that's a credit back to the project. These next 2 line items, 5 and 6, are a couple of costs from the relocation of the gas line to the existing school we did a couple months ago. So that's those are a couple of adds to the project. And then item number 7, we removed a couple doors in one of the rooms that I think was also decided were unnecessary for the project. So that's a credit. And then this last line item, we had to move over one of the storm sewer lines so it would be under a road. So we added gravel around the back door of that so the road did not be. You guys have any questions about this?
The important piece to this is that at the bottom in bold, under projected contingency after these changes, we still have just over $626,000 in contingency remaining on this project. And our goal is to save as much of that as possible to have that back at the conclusion of the project. And I will say that between Crossland and the Stacy Group, we have worked very well together on all of these changes, and as you can tell, they are moving at a very swift pace, and I've also been impressed with the workmanship and quality of the job so far as well.
Any questions? Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Good work.
Agenda item number 10, the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Now to the business agenda. Item 11A, recommendation, consideration, action upon contingency modification number 4 for Crossland Construction.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the contingency modification number 4 for Crossland Construction.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 11B, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept the bid for Central Elementary air-cooled installation and removal.
Page 152 of your board packet has the information on the chiller for Central. We've had several challenges with that chiller, and this was something that we identified that we wanted to replace and be proactive on the needs of that building. The chiller serves the original portion of that building. The portion that was added in 2005 has package units, and so this will provide, and we are also going to have let's see. We're also considering in the future addressing the boiler issues, but right now we're just addressing the chiller issues. And you can see Innovative Mechanical was the low bid. We've had, as you guys know, very good luck with Innovative on their attention to detail with many of our HVAC needs. And so I would recommend that we accept this bid.
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the bid for Central Elementary air-cooled installation and removal.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 11C, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept the bid for Guthrie High School boiler removal and installation.
This bid for the boilers, you remember we had a failure of, when it got so cold this last winter, of, gosh, I think it was 3 of our boilers, and we were able to replace some. But these boilers that we're replacing with this work, they are 25 years old, I believe, in that ballpark, and so they have exceeded their expected lifespan. And Innovative was the low bid on that. Would recommend that we accept this bid as well.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the bid by Innovative Mechanical for Guthrie High School boiler removal and installation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I would mention that both of these projects, Dr. Chappell, correct me if I'm wrong, but both these projects are being paid for out of Redbud funds. Is that correct? Okay.
Roll call, please.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11D, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept lowest bid as listed for audio and intercom system for new Cotterell Elementary School.
Page 154, we opened these bids the same day. We had just a bid opening party in the administration building. They had people all over the building. But Haddock was the low bid. I don't know, Dee, is there anything you want to add on this one? Okay. And these are items, what we've got over this agenda item and the next two. These are items that we pull out of the contract and do as owner, and we save money by doing that. We don't have markup with the architect and markup with the contractor or the construction manager.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the lowest bid from Haddock for audio and intercom system for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Huskey,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11E, recommendation, consideration, action to accept the bid withdrawal from Bytespeed Optoma for interactive panels for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
This request on page 155, this vendor submitted a bid of, what was it, $51 and some change, $57.41, I guess, for interactive panels. And obviously that was a clerical error. Would have been great if we could accept that, but I don't think that the vendor was very pleased with their submission and have requested to remove it, and I would recommend that the board allow that to happen.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we accept the bid withdrawal from Bytespeed Optima for interactive panels for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Huskey,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11F, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept bid for interactive panels for new Cotterell Elementary School.
Page 156 is the bid tab sheet for this work, and those are the smart TVs that go at the front of the classroom. The low bid after we removed the one that had the error is Promethean, and we would recommend that we go with them. We have different versions of these in many classrooms, and I've been around long enough that I can remember when really the only two brands in town were Smart and Promethean, but this is essentially a Ford and a Chevy is really what you're talking about here. And so to hear the salespeople, if the salespeople heard me say that, they'd probably take a little bit of offense to it because they got pride in the product. But that's essentially what we're talking about. And so I would recommend that we award the bid to Haddock with the Promethean boards.
Mr. President, I move that we accept the bid from Haddock for the Promethean interactive panels for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Huskey,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11G, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept bid for network for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
Dee, you may want to explain what this is so that I don't botch this one.
This is the network cables to all of the devices that will plug into the network, running from a closet in the building, back to classroom, hallways, outdoor speakers, cameras, all of that kind of thing.
And you can see Adept Services has the low bid. We would recommend that we accept that.
Mr. President, I make a motion to accept a bid from Adept Patriot Services for the network for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Huskey,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11H, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept bid for security for the new Cotterell Elementary School.
These are security cameras and the camera system, and this is on page 158 of your packet. And you can see that we are recommending not the lowest bid. And the reason for that is the different brands here are not compatible and would put us on a different platform for that building. And so we would recommend staying with the Avigilon system, and so that would award the bid to United Systems. And if you have, Dee can answer any other questions you might have on this.
Also includes all the
Yes.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we accept the bid for security from United Systems for the new Cotterill Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11I, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with UDT as the best bid for district new phone system.
You'll remember from our committee meetings that we discussed this, and it is nearly impossible to get apples to apples on different phone systems now because there are so many different variations. And so that's where Dee worked very diligently to get us what he thinks will be the best option for our district, keeping in mind that we are required to upgrade due to some inability of the E911 capabilities that our current system has. We've got no complaints with our current system other than the safety issue that if you are in, for example, the high school and you hit 911, it will not tell you which office you're in or where you specifically are. It will only tell you that it's at the high school. And so this new system will pinpoint the exact phone that you are calling from.
Also, we're in the center of compliance with Perry's Law and Ray Long's Act, which are both laws that we have.
So we would recommend UDT.
And this one doesn't have the monthly service, so I assume that's a positive going forward.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these have recurring costs that we have to factor in, and we're trying to avoid as much of that as possible.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the agreement with UDT as the best bid for the district for the new phone system.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flag,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11J, recommendation, consideration, and action upon PCCO number 2 for Lambert Construction.
This is part of, well, is that the only one that we have there? This is part of a deduction that we have negotiated with Lambert Construction on essentially the two projects that we had at both the high school and the junior high of a reduction in what is owed of $60,000. And then we will submit what the board has already approved of the contract of both jobs with the $60,000 deduction. So this change order was necessary to get the board's approval on that. And then that will settle us up with the, in the final settlement with Lambert Construction comes with additionally a 2-year warranty on all of the workmanship and material that they did for the extent of their contract on both jobs.
Mr. President, I move that we approve prime contract change order 002 for Lambert Construction.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11K, recommendation, consideration, and action upon change order number 1 for Innovative Mechanical LLC.
Page 161 of your packet has this change order, and this is simply a deduction of contingency that was not used on that project, and that was a junior high HVAC project. And you know, both the junior high project with Lambert and the junior high project with Innovative have stretched out over a lot more time than we would like, but some of that is due to supply chain issues that we experienced coming out of COVID. So we're trying to button up all of these projects that have been hanging out there as we get ready to end this fiscal year and look at what remaining funds we have in our ESSER allocation of for federal funds. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the change order number 1 for Innovative Mechanical.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11L, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal of financial advisor services agreement with Municipal Finance Services for 2024-2025.
This is our bond advisor, and we annually bring this contract to you for ratification with John Wolf, and now Jerica Dawson has also stepped in to advise us as well, and would recommend approval.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the renewal of financial advisor services agreement with the Municipal Finance Services, Inc. for 2024-25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11M, recommendation, consideration, and action upon 2023-2024 revised appropriations of Red Bud funds for building fund.
This is an item that requires the board's approval, given that we have received additional Red Bud funds that were dropped into our account this month. Is that right, Dr. Chappell?
We're still waiting.
Patiently, I'm sure. Okay. This has been, well, Representative Talley's already heard me say this, so it's not important that he's not here anymore. This is it would be better if the state legislature would give us this allocation sooner, so that we can use these funds in a more timely fashion, because after they allocate them but don't fund them until June, we've gone through a whole year with, and while inflation is slowing down a bit, it is still there. And so it reduces our buying power the longer it takes for us to get this money from the state. But nevertheless, I'll step off my soapbox and ask that you approve this so that we can, when those funds hit the bank account, we can go ahead and begin expending them.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the 2023-2024 revised appropriations of Red Bud funds for building fund.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11N, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal with OSAG for workers' compensation insurance coverage for 2024-2025.
Page 170 is the quote for our new workers' comp policy with OSAG, Oklahoma School Assurance Group. It comes with a $35,000 increase. One thing that I have learned with insurance, I'm not sure it matters what kind you have, none of it is going down. And some of this is driven by losses, and some of this is driven by the increase in cost of treating medical issues too. And so, and we have shopped this in the past, not too long ago, And this is really the only option that was viable that was presented to us financially. So I would recommend that we approve it.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the renewal with OSAG for workers' compensation insurance coverage for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Huskey.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11O, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal with OSIG for property, general liability, fleet vehicle, and errors and omissions coverage for 2024-2025.
Well, this news wasn't as bad as I have brought you in years past, but it is still it's about a 7.5% increase in what we're faced with, and additionally, because of the value of what we have insured, our deductible goes from $50,000 to $100,000. And as you know, it's kind of funny. In the commentary, the first sentence there: public schools are not attractive to private insurance carriers at this time. That sentence has been in the commentary for a number of years. Cut and paste that Sam does, because that has not changed. And the thing to keep in mind is, and I've shared this with committees, but I'm going to share it again, is every time, because essentially all of the schools in Oklahoma, for the most part, are on this. So anytime a school in Oklahoma is damaged by a tornado or a flood or some kind of event, we are going to see somewhat of an increase. And this has, it is the best option that we have. And I actually, this last week, spent some time in a meeting. I was seated next to the superintendent from Sulphur, and he estimates his losses over the tornado on just the school district and losses at around $8 million. And that was just his buses, transportation building, the IT building, and the maintenance building, and a little bit of water damage in some of the buildings. So that's part of it, and that's why every time that I see the weathermen and the storm chasers out there, I get a little nervous, even if they're not headed toward Guthrie. But that being said, I would recommend that we approve this. And I will say that Mr. Whimsy and I and Dr. Chappell sat down and we hammered out as much of a reduction as we could get. In fact, it started at 8.5%, and we looked carefully at what the coverage is for the current Cotterell building, and what the coverage is currently for our portables that are wherever in the district. And we revised some of that down even more, to a point that if a catastrophic event, were to happen at the Cotterell site, making sure that we still have enough coverage that we could obtain portables to relocate the students from Cotterell to another site while continuing with construction or starting over construction if it was a terribly bad situation there, until we can get that building done. So we feel like we squeezed even more on that site than we have in the past, given the timeline of where we are with construction.
I've got a question, Dr. Chappell, on the loss ratio of where we're at currently. How does it compare? I mean, are we consistent along those lines? Has it gone up, gone down? On the OSIG, we're at the 27% on 53 claims.
We are standard or in range with other districts, if that's what you're asking me.
compared to our district?
Yeah, within our district.
Well, let me kind of clarify some of that. That's a snapshot of multiple years.
Oh, that is? Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things that Blake has done, Mr. Whimsy with Foundation Insurance, is we are not, it had almost become routine that we would file a claim. Even if our deductible, and remember, our deductible at one time was very low, and we now are not filing a claim as often, and sometimes we are quote-unquote self-insuring, and obviously with the change in deductible, we will look at that even more closely. But because of that, Blake looked at our losses and said, some of this we shouldn't even be turning in claims for. And, Chris can probably speak to, because this is part of his world, what that looks like in a pool as well from the other side.
Yeah, 27% loss ratio is good. So if you're 100% loss ratio, that means for every dollar you're putting in, they're paying the dollar to cover. So really, for every dollar we're putting in, paying on premium, they're only paying 27 cents back on that. But like I said, the pool takes in, every district in the state. And we had a county get hit by a hailstorm. It was $6.5 million just for the buildings and cars. So, that's why you have a pool. So when they hit you, you got the coverage. But essentially, the rates go up because overall there's more claims and money coming in. So they got to cover that cost. But as far as loss ratio, that's good for our district.
So that 53 claims, so that's over a 6-year period?
Yes, I was just doing
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not, that wasn't last year.
Okay. Well, I missed something there.
Our attorney will be.
So like the school that got hit, like Sulphur, they might be at a 300% loss ratio now, which means every dollar they put in, insurance is paid out $3 for it. So that's just because they happen to get hit by the big one. So.
How's our new construction insurance?
Cotterell? Yep. That's covered by Crossland until we get a CO. And the way that normally works is when we get a CO, a certificate of occupancy from the city, and that's after the state fire marshal's office has blessed it and all of that, and we can actually put people in it and put our property in it, then we let Blake know, and it will be insured at what the total cost of construction was that was agreed upon. And then it will appreciate after that. So it will go, so you're going to see, when we get into Cotterell, you're going to see that insurance cost jump because we're insuring Cotterell for, what was it, like 2.6 million right now?
I think it's 3 million is
Okay.
what we landed.
Yeah, and it's going to go to 17.1 or thereabouts when we get the CO. But Crossland has that insurance until
It's also going to increase when we add our 2 portables out at Charter Oak.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the renewal with OSIG for property, general liability, fleet vehicle, and errors and omissions coverage for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11P, recommendation, consideration, and action to approve a 4-year lease agreement with Stanley Systems for district copiers.
D, is this, what year are we of this?
This will be third.
Okay. And it's a 4-year term, and we're in year 3. Yeah. So this is what we bring to you annually for renewal, and I couldn't remember where we were with this agreement, but recommend approval, and so that we can go ahead and continue our relationship with them.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the 4-year lease agreement with Stanley Systems for district copiers. We're not really approving a 4-year lease agreement.
No, you're just renewing, you're ratifying a renewal.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11Q, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with Center for Communication and Engagement.
We started back with this firm in the middle of this last school year, and I've been very pleased with what they are doing to assist us with a lot of getting our message out in our community and helping our teachers tell their story. And so I would recommend that we renew this agreement for the 2024-25 school year.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agreement with Center for Communication and Engagement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11R, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with the Board of County Commissioners of Logan County for school resource officer provided by Logan County Sheriff's Office for 2024-2025.
Pages 195 through 202 is a renewal of the agreement to provide an SRO for Charter Oak Elementary with Logan County Sheriff's Office. Very pleased with what they do. No change in the cost, and recommended approval.
Mr. President, I move we approve the agreement with the Board of County Commissioners of Logan County for school resource officer provided by the Logan County Sheriff's Office for 2024-25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11S, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with Renaissance Star 360 for 2024-2025.
Clarity on this item, I want to make sure to call your attention. In the commentary of the agenda, it says pre-K through 4th. That's actually pre-K through 6th is what the agreement is for. We would recommend approval of this. And I believe Ms. Walters, is the Renaissance Star, is that new to GUESS, or have we done that in the past?
That will
I thought
be
it was
new to
for-
GUESS. They're switching from NWEA map testing to align with elementaries with the Renaissance Star.
Mr. President, make a motion that we approve the agreement with Renaissance Star 360 for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11T, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with Samantha Betchen to provide speech therapy services for the 2024-2025 school year.
This is required, since we don't have a speech therapy person on staff that can meet the needs of the students that we have to contract out, and we recommend approval. And Angie's can answer any questions we might have.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the agreement with Samantha Betchen to provide speech therapy services for 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard,
Yes.
Husky,
Yes.
Flagg,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Smedley,
Yes.
Schroeder,
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11U, recommendation, consideration, and action upon memorandum of understanding between Meridian Technology Center and Guthrie Public Schools for supplemental funding for Guthrie Middle School Gateway to Technology programs for 8th grade students for 2024-2025.
We've had this agreement for a number of years, and it has taken different turns along the way on what we've offered curriculum-wise. But the thing that is a common thread is the $50,000 that Meridian provides has given us some very dynamic curriculum and options for STEM learning that has been incredibly popular with our students, and so I would recommend approval.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding between Meridian Technology Center and Guthrie Public Schools for supplemental funding for Guthrie Middle School Gateway to Technology programs for 8th grade students for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11V, recommendation, consideration, and action to approve the updated memo for 2024 K through 6 remedial summer school.
Because of some staff changes, we are bringing this to you to ratify those changes with what's going on at summer school due to a resignation, and recommend approval.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the updated memo for 2024 K through 6 remedial summer school.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11W, recommendation, consideration, and action upon elementary student handbook for 2024-2025.
We have, what you have in your packet comes with one change on page 237 that we're handing out right now. We caught that in committee meetings, but we didn't catch that in what was submitted in your board packet. You can see under first offense on drugs and alcohol, suspension from school for 30 days from 5, and that is what the staff recommended, and that did not get into the first offense clearly. So we want to make you aware of that change. We recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the elementary student handbook for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11X, recommendation, consideration, and action upon Guthrie Upper Elementary Student Handbook for 2024-2025.
You have in your packet pages 241 through 269 that show the red line recommendations, and the changes are minimal. There would recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the Guthrie Upper Elementary Student Handbook for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Quick question. Will we make changes later on?
With a new principal, I would say that's a possibility, but that'll be something that Ms. Walters and myself and the new principal can have a discussion about. And of course we've got time in the month of July to do that if we need to. So I wouldn't expect any major changes, though. They'd probably be very small.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11Y. Or are we on Y or Z? I'm getting We're getting close to double A, so I know it's getting better. Recommendation, consideration, and action upon junior high school student handbook for 2024-2025.
This is page 270 through 308 of your packet, and again, some minimal changes, a little bit more there about keeping kids, the times that they enter the building and things like that, but and officially adding a sport in the handbook. Somehow that got missed last year, and recommend approval. Questions, Mr. Hancock or I'll be glad to answer.
And changing Angie Young's name also.
Is that still on there?
Yes.
Well, we will make that change, and that staff member will be reflected. And, you know, I think if we were to ask Mr. Moyer when we change staff members, I don't know that it is always imperative that that be a board approval because you're approving them being that staff member, and then they just fill that position too. Good catch.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the junior high school student handbook for 2024-2025.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard?
Yes.
Huskey?
Yes.
Flagg?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Smedley?
Yes.
Schroeder?
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11Z, recommendation, consideration, and action upon Guthrie High School Student Handbook for 2024-2025.
This is page 309 of your packet. We're getting there. Again, minimal changes, and there are some, to Mr. Flagg's point, there are some positions that are still open that will require both at the junior high and the high school a name to be placed in there. But once the board makes that official, I think it can be added in there without any additional action by the board. And one of the things that we are talking about here is also volleyball, and adding that in there, along with clearing up a few things on standardizing some discipline with tardies and things along those lines.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the Guthrie High School Student Handbook for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard?
Yes.
Huskey?
Yes.
Flagg?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Smedley?
Yes.
Schroeder?
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11AA, recommendation, consideration, action upon school bus riders handbook for 2024-2025.
Page 348 to 358. And most of the changes here are putting into policy a lot of practice with what we have done on as far as transporting from primary residency to school site and not somewhere else. That is part of state law as well because of funding. So recommend approval.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the school bus riders handbook for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard?
Yes.
Husky?
Yes.
Flagg?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Smedley?
Yes.
Schroeder?
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11BB, recommendation, consideration, action on the following appointments for 2024-2025. Michelle Chappell, purchasing agent; Tammy Jones, encumbrance clerk; Jana Wanzer, treasurer; Stephanie Simmons, assistant treasurer; Samantha Stewart, clerk of the board and minutes clerk; Carrie Jarrett, deputy clerk of the board and deputy minutes clerk.
This is required annually by statute that the board ratify these, and all of these people were filling these positions last year as well. Recommend approval.
Mr. President, I move we approve the appointments for 2024-25 as listed in item BB.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard?
Yes.
Husky?
Yes.
Flagg?
Yes.
Pearson?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Smedley?
Yes.
Schroeder?
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11CC, recommendation, consideration, and action upon district policy F5 transfers Exhibit A.
Page 359, that Exhibit A is unchanged from all of this last school year, and this is a requirement quarterly to review and have the board accept the transfer capacities the way they're figured. Would recommend approval.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve District Policy F5 Transfers Exhibit A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11DD, recommendation, consideration, and action to modify 2024-2025 school calendar to move homecoming early dismissal.
Page 360 has this modification. The football districts it was required that they be redrawn due to a ruling by the Oklahoma County Court in a lawsuit over how schools were placed in different classifications. So one of the effects of this is our district in football changed quite a bit from what it originally was. And when the schedule was produced, homecoming had to move because we didn't even have a home game on the original date. And so this is just cleaning that up so that we have board approval of an early release on the day of homecoming.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the modified 2024-2025 school calendar to move homecoming early dismissal.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11EE, motion, discussion, and vote to approve or disapprove the assignment of Ms. Gina Bates, an RN and current Meridian Technology Center Health Careers Instructor, as an adjunct instructor for the purpose of teaching anatomy and physiology during the 2024-2025 school year for academic credit.
The state requires by law, if any class for credit at a high school is taught by an adjunct instructor that is not certified by the state for that instruction, the board is required to approve this. So a student that attends Meridian that would happen to take anatomy and physiology taught by this registered nurse, that allows us to transcript that and with the board's approval. And we did this last year. I don't even know how many we have. I don't think we had many, if any, that took that, but we don't know what the enrollment will be next year. And so we want to make sure that we are in compliance with that so that we could offer that credit, just like any other high school that has the agreement and sends their kids to Meridian.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the assignment of Ms. Gina Bates, an RN at current Meridian Technology Center's Health Careers Instructor, as an adjunct instructor for the purpose of teaching anatomy and physiology during the 2024-2025 school year for academic credit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 12. Don't get dizzy, hopefully. Proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA requests, resignation, separation from employment, and transfer of position requests, all as set out on the personnel reports, extra duty assignments for 2024-2025, support rehire for 2024-25, teacher negotiations for 2024-2025, periodic evaluation of Dr. Michael Simpson, Superintendent of Schools, confidential communications between a public body and its attorney concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action if the public body, with advice of its attorney, determines that the disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, disclosure of which information would violate the confidentiality requirements of state and/or federal law, all pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute, Section 307B, 1, 2, 4, and 7. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Started to say what he said. Probably.
Ditto.
Okay, with item 12B, we'll acknowledge the board's return to open session. Item 12C, only items in agenda number 12 were discussed in executive session and no votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Agenda item 13, vote on action as set out on the personnel reports.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the personnel reports.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 14, action upon extra duty assignment for 2024-2025.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the extra duty assignment for 2024-2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 15, action upon support rehire for 2024-2025 school year.
Mr. President, make a motion that we approve the support rehire for 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 16, recommendation, consideration, and action to name a principal for Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Mr. President, I would recommend that the board approve a contract with Michelle Wilson Adams to be the next principal at Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Mr. President, I move that we approve a contract with Michelle Wilson Adams to be named as the principal for the Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 17, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of the agenda.
We have none.
Item 18, discussion of possible action on new business not known about or could have been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
Mr. President, I would at this time ask the board to consider under new business a change in title for Jay Benson at Guthrie Upper Elementary School from administrative intern to the title of assistant principal.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the change of Jay Benson's title to assistant principal at Guthrie Upper Elementary School.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 19, adjournment.
So
President,
moved.
make a move.
Let's go.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Gerard.
Yes.
Husky.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Thank you all.